Hi, I'm Stephanie Kraft, and I'm talking today about turning a breech baby using hypnosis. Normally, during pregnancy, later on in the pregnancy, the baby will turn head down so that it can get ready to be born. But sometimes a baby will be in the breech position, which means that their head is up, so they would be coming out with their bottom first or their feet, and which can make birth more difficult and more dangerous. So ideally, we want the babies to turn head down. There are many methods for attempting this, and I'm just going to talk about turning a baby using hypnosis today because that's what I do as a hypnotherapist. And turning a breech baby using hypnosis is um, highly successful, actually. And the reason that it works is that, first of all, when a baby is breech, it's usually due to a couple of reasons. One is an anatomical necessity on the baby's part or the mother's part. So in those situations where it's necessary for the baby to be breeched to be safe in the womb, that's something that I wouldn't recommend turning the baby in that case. But the other reason that a baby would be breeched is typically if the baby is picking up on the mother's fear or stress. And this is very real. So the baby senses mom's stress or fear and turns in the upright position in the womb because it feels like it's not a safe situation to be born into. And so it sort of in protest or in its own preservation will turn upright and say, well, I'm not going to be born yet. And so when a woman is under hypnosis, we can get at her subconscious fears and what's really going on with her in order to release those fears. So sometimes the mother is not even aware that she's carrying fear and stress, and sometimes she is. And in either case, going under hypnosis, we can identify what those underlying fears and stressors are and work on removing them. But we can also talk to the baby while in the womb. So when under hypnosis, it's like mind-to-mind communication. I, as the hypnotherapist, can ask the mother to ask the baby why it's breech. And the baby will give a response. I'm going to give a couple of examples of stories that I have that are really, I think, key stories in pointing out the significance of using hypnosis to turn a breech baby. The first story is of a woman who came to see me for turning the breech baby using hypnosis. And when she was under hypnosis, I asked her to ask the baby why it had turned into the breech position. And the baby told her. So of course, like I said before, it's mind-to-mind communication. We know that the baby's not talking and we're not hearing it, but the mother can tune in and listen. So the baby told her that she was, the boy actually, the baby told her that he was afraid of his big brother. And my client started to cry and told me that, yes, this was actually a problem in their family, that the big brother was already very rough with the little brother and that they were working on it as a family, and that the baby told her that he had already been rough with him in the womb. And the mother had no clue that this was what was bothering the baby. She knew that it was an issue with her two sons. And so I decided to just tell the mom to talk to the baby now and tell him that now that mommy is aware of the problem, she can protect him and just offer a lot of reassurance and protection and soothe the baby and thank the baby for sharing the information and make sure that he knew that the mother was going to take care of it. And so with that reassurance and that feeling of safety and protection, and with the awareness of the mother understanding the issue, the baby then turned into the downright head down position in order to be born. The babies don't turn while they're on my table during the session. They tend to turn within 24 hours because this is a turn that the baby is doing on their own. It's of their own choice. When we're doing something like external cephalic version, which is when the obstetrician actually manipulates the baby from the outside to turn the baby manually, this is the least recommended way to turn a baby because it's extremely painful for the mother, and a lot of times they do give an epidural. Also, this is not a natural turn for the baby, meaning the baby didn't do it on its own, and so a lot of times they turn back into the breech position. So there are chiropractic techniques that would be much more, much safer and way higher on the list of choices to turn a breech baby. So you have choices when turning a breech baby, whether it's chiropractic or hypnosis or other means like acupuncture. There's a lot of ways to turn a breech baby, but I'm only speaking of turning a breech baby with hypnosis because that's my only expertise in this area. The other story that I have for you under hypnosis, so another mother came to me and she had tried everything to turn her baby, really, chiropractic techniques, acupuncture, so many different things, and the baby wasn't turning. So she came to see me, and under hypnosis I asked her, ask your baby why he or she is in the breech position. And so this baby showed the mother an image in her mind that the cord was wrapped around his neck. And so we learned that it would be dangerous for the baby to be turned or to turn on its own. This woman had an appointment with her obstetrician the next day to schedule an ECV, an external cephalic version. That's the one I was talking about where the doctor manipulates the baby from the outside to turn it. So she went in for the ultrasound. She didn't say anything yet, but when the doctor was finished with the ultrasound, she said, "Did you happen to notice if the cord was wrapped around the baby's neck? Because I have mother's intuition that the cord was wrapped around the neck." She didn't yet want to say that she had undergone hypnosis. But the doctor said, "Oh, I didn't check. Let me go back and look." So he did the ultrasound again, and sure enough, he found that the cord was wrapped around the baby's neck. And he said, "Wow, how did you know that?" And she said, "Well, I had a hypnosis session, and my baby showed me that." And so he said, "Well, we have to cancel the ECV. We cannot do it. It's too dangerous. You're going to need to have a C-section." Of course, they couldn't turn the baby if the cord was wrapped around the baby's neck. I'm not saying that all the time the cord wrapped around the neck is an issue, because 50% of the time when babies are born, the cord is wrapped around the neck, but it's as simple as just taking it off of from around the head when the baby's coming out. That's head down. But in this case, of course, because the baby was breech and the cord was wrapped around the neck, that's a different story altogether. So I believe that we saved this baby's life by the mom coming in and having a session to actually see what was going on and to cancel that ECV, because we don't know what would have happened if the doctor had tried to turn the baby. That would have maybe been disastrous. So those are two examples of turning a breech baby under hypnosis and how it works, why it works. It's very important to understand that this is a turn that the baby is doing on their own after communicating with the mother's subconscious mind to alleviate fears and stressors, talking to the baby while under hypnosis, and I do many other things, such as talking to the uterus. I know that may sound strange, but we have body consciousness. Every organ in the body has consciousness, and so there are a multitude of reasons that a baby could be breached. So I try to get at all of them, speaking to the mother's body, uterus, speaking to the mother's subconscious mind, the baby, etc. So that we cover all bases and make sure we can understand the situation. So that is a little bit about using hypnosis to turn breech babies, and I'll be making some more videos on other topics soon. See you later.